I just want to ask, how you doing mentally? I know, brother, life can be tough, being a young man or a young lady trying to figure out life all by yourself. You feel defeated by life. You seem like you ain't going nowhere. Things is not going your way. You feel like you're supposed to already be somewhere in life, but however, you're not there yet. So it drives you crazy. It makes you go insane. It's like damn, why me? You know, why does it seem like I can't figure this out? It can take a toll on you mentally. On your mental health, it can really take a toll. So I just want to tell you, my brother, or my sister, whoever you are that's watching this video, you should always work on your mental health. You should always work on yourself mentally. The better mindset you have, the more you can, live or play this game of life. I was sitting here and I was thinking to myself, like, damn, if there's one thing that I need to work on the most in my life right now, what is that? And I'm like, it would be my mindset. The stronger I am mentally, the more unbreakable I become as a person. The stronger I am mentally, the more I can play this game of life. Because it is so easy to lose yourself in a chaotic world, in a life where it's just you trying to figure this out for yourself. Especially if you're somebody like me who feels like you have something in life that is bigger than just yourself and you want to accomplish that. I don't know if you get this feeling too, but I've been getting this feeling since I was young, that I am meant for something more. I am meant for something. I am meant to become somebody in life, and given the fact that I am not where I want to be in life just yet, sometimes it takes a toll on my mental health. And mind you, at the time of this recording, I am 25 years of age, or I'm actually turning 25 on the 22nd of this month, right? So given the fact that I am turning 25 years of age, I will be honest with you, I do sometimes look at it like, damn, like, why is it that I'm not where I want to be yet? Like, what is going on? And sometimes you get into your head and you may start comparing yourself to other people your age who have accomplished or seem that they have accomplished a lot in their life, right? And you be like, why them and not me? And that is the answer that, that is a question that sometimes I don't even have the answer to. You know what I'm saying? So I'm here to tell you that if you're struggling mentally or however way you may be struggling, I just want you to keep focusing on bettering your mental health, because it is important in a world where things seem to be very chaotic. Like I said earlier, when you also lose yourself mentally, it can become really, really difficult. Let's say you're like me, right, who live in a country where it's just you by yourself. When I mean just you, like, you have no family member, no brothers, no sisters, no uncles, no aunties, no nieces, no nephew, no parent. And by the way, my parents have passed away. My father passed away when I was just 16 years of age. And then my mother passed away when I was 22 years of age. So as you can tell, I have been through quite a lot in life, but with God, all things are possible. And I'm always grateful because things can be worse. You get what I'm saying? I came to this country, I came to America 10 years ago. I was born and raised in Nigeria. I left my mom when I was 14 years of age, which was in 2015. And that was the last time I ever set my eyes on her before she passed away in 2023, right? So things haven't always been so, good for me mentally or emotionally. I've always had to deal with, certain things. You get what I'm saying? But like I said, I am still grateful because things could have been worse. I grew up in a foster home. I grew up with a different family. And that family that I grew up with was nice to me, especially like my foster mom. I built a son and mother relationship with her. So with that, I don't have nothing bad to say at all. I'm grateful that that happened. However, it was still not the same with having your own biological mother. You got what I'm saying? It was still different when you grew up without your own biological family. You got what I'm saying? So I say that to say, like, everybody has a story. Everybody has a story to tell. Everybody have, like, when you hear somebody's story, you be like, damn, I thought mine was bad. There's somebody that have it worse than you. And I know there's somebody that have it worse than me too. You got what I'm saying? So that's why I stay trying to be grateful, because things can be worse than what it had already been. You got what I'm saying? So the question you should be asking yourself is, who do you want to be? What do you want out of life? And I can answer that question for you, for myself. I want to be a man who is able to lead, a man who can provide and protect and inspire. I want to be somebody that you look up to and be like, damn, he is somebody that inspired me to do better for myself as a man. You got what I'm saying? And I haven't always been like this, being able to speak to the camera, being the confident person that I am today. I wasn't always like this. I came from working on myself mentally and also physically, and as well as spiritually. This all started back in 2021, where, I don't know, like, I had this kind of breakthrough in my life where I just got tired of being a shy kid who was never around people, and never to look somebody in the eye and even speak, or just was also tired mentally of feeling like I'm just not, like, I felt like I was in a cage, and I wanted to break out of that. I wanted to break out of that shyness. I wanted to break out of that circle of just being nervous and also not having a good mindset for myself. I just wanted to break out of that. Luckily, I came across, like, YouTubers, or like, books and stuff like that. And back then, even like TikTok was a really big thing, where like was into self-improvement. I started going to the gym, I started eating better, I started reading books, and I also started speaking to the camera, making TikToks back then. This was what built my confidence to be able to speak the way I'm speaking now in the camera, and also having a better mindset than I had when I was in high school, when I was younger. You got what I'm saying? So I say this to say that I've always seen myself as somebody who can be more. I'm not, like, in a sense of, like, I am special. You get what I'm saying? Now, somebody might take offense to that and be like, no, you're not. Everybody is, the same, whatever the case may be. I mean, you can think that for yourself, but given the fact that I think that I'm special, given the fact that I think that, I deserve more out of this life, given the fact that I think that I am meant for more, I was born to be somebody, I wasn't born to be average, that keeps me wanting to become the best version of myself. That keeps me from, being just like everybody else. That keeps me from just, following everybody else's, messages, or like, whatever they gotta say. You get what I'm saying? That keeps me wanting to find out that who God brought me here to be. Because at the end of the day, God created everybody to be something special in life. You get what I'm saying? So if you have that, voice in your head that tells you that you are meant for more, you are meant to be greater than you think, you like that you can be, then yeah, definitely, like, it's gonna make you want to get up your ass and do something. Now, with that, it also comes with a responsibility of, what's it called, having to deal with all these voices in your head as well. Like, for example, let's say, like, an average person, they can smoke and drink and, just eat whatever, just do the regular thing that, most people just do. But somebody like you, who has that calling, who has that voice in your head that, you feel like you are meant for more, you can't just do that, because when you do, your consciousness is going to judge you, right? Like me, back then, a few years ago, I used to smoke weed. And I'm not saying that, people who smoke or whatever the case may be, they are like, bad people or whatever the case may be. Like, no, not at all. But I used to smoke weed all the time. And a part of me always felt like I was doing something that is not in alignment with who I was meant to be. You got what I'm saying? So imagine just, being addicted to smoking weed, because I felt like I was actually addicted, because I couldn't go a day without it. Being that I was addicted to smoking weed, and after smoking I would feel like, damn, why am I doing this? What is going on like that? I just felt so bad, like my consciousness would just judge me, right? So it's like I had to let that go. I had to let that habit go. You got what I'm saying? Even when like I used to eat, like, let's say junk food or whatever the case may be, immediately I realized that, the bad side of eating junk food, which is not being able to, let's say for example, just messing up your health and stuff like that. Once I realized that, like, eating junk food, like, if I had to let it go, because if I continue doing it, knowing that I know better, my consciousness would judge me. You got what I'm saying? That is the same with watching porn. Most teenagers, or like, most adults, like, they are very addicted to porn. I was too back when I was younger, when I was a teen. However, when I realized the danger of watching porn, I had to let that go too, because if I continue to do it, knowing it's not good for me, my consciousness is going to judge me. You get my point? Like, when you have this voice in your head that tells you that you're supposed to be more, you're supposed to be, like, you're born to be somebody great, right? When you do things that you shouldn't be doing, your consciousness will judge you. And even right now, maybe you do things you're not supposed to be doing, right? And your consciousness judge you. However, you probably don't even listen to your consciousness, right? But somebody like me, mine is right there in my head 24/7. You get what I'm saying? So I say that to say, if you feel like you were born to be somebody more than just an average person, you get what I'm saying? You will have this voice in your head all the time telling you to want to be better, because I have those voices in my head all the time, right? So that's why I say you have to keep working on your mindset. You have to keep working on becoming the best version that you possibly can, because that's something that I'm still working on. I am not perfect in no way, shape, or form. I make these videos simply speaking from my heart and how I feel currently. You get what I'm saying? Like, for example, I'll give you an example. I am not where I want to be financially. You get what I'm saying? I was not the most financially educated person at all. I struggled to, learn financial discipline. Like, I really did. And I had to, take time to actually read books and find out how to become disciplined financially. And I'm still learning. I'm still trying to get my money up. I'm still trying to, build myself financially. You know what I'm saying? So everybody have things in their life that, they struggle, they're not so good at. Everybody have their weak points, you know what I'm saying, that you have to work on. Your weakness, you have to make that become your strength, So that's a part of my life that I'm trying to make become my strength, which is my financial part of my life, because I have things that I would like to do for myself financially, but not just myself, my siblings, my family, the community. So that's why I know, like, in this life that I came to, like, I have to become somebody who God brought me here to become. I feel like that's the only way I can find true peace and happiness. You get what I'm saying? Is by becoming the best version of myself. I'm also in this phase where, like, I want to kind of rebrand and remodel myself. What I mean by that is that when I speak, I want to become more articulated. That way, I'm not so misunderstood easily. Because sometimes, I speak to people like how I speak to my friends, right? Like, the way you speak to your friends, like, y'all guys talk, and however y'all talk, maybe y'all curse a lot. Like, when I talk to my friends, I'm talking about my friends that I'm really close with. Like, I'll curse a lot or whatever the case may be. However, I don't want to keep doing that with people I just met or people that don't know me, deeply, because then they start getting the wrong impression of me. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, the point of this video is that if you are struggling mentally, please continue working on yourself, because that can take a toll in your life, So you may ask, how do I work on myself mentally? I feel like what helped me, work on my mindset, better than how it was before, it was through reading books and also watching podcasts. It was also listening to people that have been where I was and now they are where I would like to be, listening to their mistakes, and also listening to what they did. Like, for me, back then, I was told meditation was good, so I started meditating. I was told eating healthy was good, so I started eating healthy, and I've been eating healthy since. I was told working out and going to the gym was good, so I became this gym or obsessed dude. I even have another YouTube channel called Kester. I post my YouTube videos over there. I mean, right now I'm currently not posting, gym content because I am injured, so I'm not really able to work out like I used to be able to. But once that is over, I'm gonna go right back into that gym. I'm gonna go right back into the gym, and I'm gonna start posting content. Another thing that I was told to do was go out in nature and grind myself. Like, 3 to 4 years ago, like I used to do that a lot. And now, if I'm being honest, I haven't been doing that as often that I used to do it. However, once the winter is over and summer comes back again, I am back in nature and I'm grounding myself again and I'm getting the sun. You get what I'm saying? So these are the things I was told to do back then in order to help myself. Those were the things that I was doing. So like I said, if you're somebody that is struggling in, let's say, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, whatever the case may be, everything all comes down to your mindset. A better mindset will help you, figure out life more, will help you play this game of life more. And that is something that I am also working on, because sometimes I feel like, I don't have the strongest mindset. Sometimes I start listening to voices that makes me like, do things that I shouldn't be doing and stuff like that. So I just want to build a really great mindset for myself, an unbreakable mindset. That way I can live a life that I truly want to live, and that way I can become somebody in life. And I hope that for you as well. Thank you for watching. This is Kester Unfiltered. See you in the next video. Peace.